dreaded triple top in the S&P 500. It was a possible scenario our guy Adami addressed back in January.
I think we're going to push up somewhere between 1535 and 1560, and that's where we're going to top out for the year. We said it will coincide with 10-year rates going to 2%. Well, guess what? They got magically close, and we also said it will coincide with the VIX trading down to 12, which I do believe we'll get to.
So let's go off the charts and see what Guy is thinking right now. Hey.
So we did, Pete can speak to the VIX a lot more intelligently than me, but the VIX did get down basically right around that 12 level. When we started talking about it, it had an 18 handle down to 12. And you can see from the charts, that's basically what's done in the VIX. I happen to believe the VIX has found a bottom. It's going to spike from here. The next chart we have now is the 10-year. When we started talking about the 10-year, the yield was about 1.63, 1.64. We said it's going to trade up to around 2%.
So we're around, somewhere around here.
Ish.
Yeah.
And
then
look
we
at
went
the move
up.
we made.
Yep.
We actually got up to around 205. And now magically, here we are. I think the VIX had the 10-year had like a 165, 166 yield today. So that's backed off. So the last thing left now is the S&P. And we have a chart in the S&P. So if we remember, we talked about this at length. We had that move up into 2000, around 1535 or so in the S&P,
right, which is the
and
first
a precipitous drop. We had a subsequent move up to about 1565 or so in 07, and remember what happened from there. And now here we are again, magically at the same level. Now, granted, it overshot a little more than I thought. I didn't think we'd get up to 1600. We did. But what I'm telling you folks at home is, and I don't know where it's going from here. If you ask me, I think down. But the S&P is not staying here. It's either going to make a dramatic move higher. We're going to push through 1600 and have that move a lot of people are looking for towards 1700, or it's going to fail here. And if it closes below 1520, the S&P that is, I think you have to really ask yourself, do I want to be in the market in a meaningful way, and have we actually put in a triple top?
So we are at a critical juncture here,
so.
just as we are on the verge of the thick of earnings season.
I believe that we are. In my heart of hearts, there's no way we're going to come back a month from now, I don't believe, and the S&P is going to be here. It's going to be it's going to be 50 points out of the way, but it ain't going to be here.
Stephen P. Grasso, your take on the triple top theory.
Most people, as Guy, look for the triple top to reverse trend. But if you look back, you get burned with this when you traded Yahoo, because in Yahoo, in 2010, it basically topped out at 18. 2011 topped out at 18, and then blew right through it. Last sale is right around 24. I agree with Guy. I think the S&P is going lower, but be careful with triple top analysis. It could break through that 1600 mark as well and shock everybody.
What does the options market say about where we're heading on the S&P 500?
Well, certainly, in the option market, we've seen consistently on the up days, and what Guy was referring to earlier, when we have those big up days and we have that volatility on the lower end, believe it or not, people were out there buying puts to protect themselves. If that continues to happen, where there isn't that need to get flushed out of the marketplace, I think that's the reason why you've only seen 4 closes in the volatility index above the 200-day moving average for the entire year. So the fact that we get up there, we can't sustain and hold above that level, we pull right back down again, tells me that their protection is in place and that people are sort of holding their breath, but they're not willing to sell this market off the way you sometimes would expect, maybe 100, 200 points in the S&P. We just are not seeing that so far.
All right, let's move on to our next